10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome everybody to another exciting episode of Stadium Connect North, and this week's special co-host all the way from Sweden, my good friend and ours, the community's DadPlaysGames. How you doing?
Hello. Doing good. It's been a long week, and this seems like the best way to end it.
Oh, I completely agree with you. I started a new day job this week. Hours are different, and it's just been one of those weeks. It's been enjoyable, but it seems like it's been a long week, and I completely agree with you here. Ready for the weekend, ready to talk some stuff about Stadia, the news and community events, and just unwind and relax.
Yeah.
So last we spoke with you. So wait, let everybody know here. Wait, is that a horn?
It's a drink. Yeah, it's an actual drinking horn. Just drinking some water from it, but it is an actual drinking horn. I just realized I have it here at the desk. Like I should bring it out.
Oh,
I think nice. I only used it so far for my Baldur's Gate streams because it seems thematic. But
oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So
it smells weird.
Last we spoke with you, you were getting ready to do a charity event. Can we maybe,
I was.
For those that might not be, up to date on everything that's happening, can you let us know like what the event was for and how did everything turn out?
Yeah, so last time I was on, I was doing here to promote my my live stream. It was a 12-hour strategy game stream benefiting the Tim Berling Foundation that works mainly for mental health. I did that to earn some money in memory of my sister who died last year in February. So it was like 1 year and 3 days after the day of her death, and we had a lot of fun. We raised over $1,000, $1,040 if I recall correctly. It was crazy. The last last $150 came in like 5 minutes after I just turned off the stream, because at that point I was playing 100 Days, so obviously I was drinking some wine as well. So it was like 12 hours of streaming. I was tired. I had barely slept the day before. I had wine a whole bottle of wine in the body. It was great. I was riding that way for weeks. So yeah, that was
awesome.
This time I'm just here to have fun. I have no ulterior motives. I'm just here to chill and talk video games.
No bottles of wine hidden there. Maybe that's wine in the
No, actually, it's just water. Figure I should stay hydrated for this.
Okay. Oh gosh, it's always good to hear. Well, congratulations on that. I'm so happy we were able to raise.
We have an amazing
$1,000.
Yeah, I mean, this community is amazing. There's no way around it.
That is so awesome. I am so glad to hear. Before we get into this week's news, which we've got quite a bit of here, I just want to give a shout out. We can already see, I Can't See is here. In lead as well.
Yeah, I can't see.
Lo-Fi Monk. Oh my gosh. You caught me on that for a second here.
Yeah, proper dad jokes.
Yep. problem.
Part of my name. I got to bring him.
Yeah. Lo-Fi Monk, Simpleton, and all those who are in the chat but lurking. I just want to also, before we start here, give a special shout out. Today is Ninja Guy X's birthday, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ninja.
Hopefully he has a wonderful, wonderful day. And for those here in the chat, you can see I've got a poll. Maurice has gone missing, and this actually ties in to a little bit of our news here. So let us know by voting on the poll here, where do you think Maurice is? There's quite a few different choices to choose from there, and we'll take a look at that maybe after some of the news here, and we'll go here. So
Yeah.
let's get see if we know where Maurice is. So let's get into the news here. We'll get something off here. Roger, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Alrighty, so this came out, let me just check here, Wednesday evening Eastern time. It was close to 11 o'clock Eastern. And I said, okay, I was done for the day. I was finishing up on the computer here. Let me just check Twitter one more time.
Yeah,
always that one more time. Well,
that's how they get you.
Yeah. Well, this time, they always got me, but this time it was actually good because I saw Stadia retweet this particular tweet here that we have up. Let me make sure. Yep, it's 150. And it's from Resident Evil Village streaming demo status. And I thought, this is very strange. I took a look at it. I'm like, 3 following and 70 followers. Well, of course, at that time, there wasn't that many. I'm like, is this a fan site or what's going on? But why would the official Stadia account retweet this? So immediately, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, okay, well, what is it? So we click on the link here, and lo and behold, we've heard talk about another Immersive Stream For Games partner was going to be announced soon. And sure enough, it's Capcom. So Capcom is now an Immersive Stream For Games partner here. It was a shock. There was some talk about it earlier in the year, or was that late last year when, there was that article that was put out. There was mention of Capcom being, along with Peloton, one of the interested people to become
in January or something.
Yeah, maybe it was January. It's hard something to keep track of. Yeah, January, February, something like that. So anyways, sure enough, here it is. Resident Evil Village demo, online streaming version, play instantly. So I immediately clicked on it. I'm like, what is this? And sure enough, as soon as I saw the interface, I knew it was Immersive Stream For Games here. So this is, it's actually quite interesting because seeing some of the reaction on Twitter initially and the next day, people were saying, oh, this is so awesome. I love it. It's great. And, it's revolutionary. And then some others, were like, yeah, it's Stadia. Oh, well, I think there was one particular tweet that says, don't mention that failure or something like that. And it's so sad to see that just because, there's a certain name that people will automatically put it down, a stigma attached to it. So neither here nor there.
The hive mind they're made up their opinion, and then it's like the internet can change their mind, but it usually takes quite a while. Yeah. So
and
it is
I think I think that Immersive Stream For Games is going to help reduce that stigma, because being able to have your partners, Capcom being the first major that's available, not to just, AT&T was just in the US and into AT&T customers. Capcom being the first major developer here, people, not really knowing either what Stadia is or what Immersive Stream For Games is, this is going to help bring down that barrier and that acceptance, I think, for game streaming, and then also help to remove some of that the negative connotation of Stadia and streaming with it, because
and it's
people
just
will be
such a great
using
way
this.
to test out games. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I won't touch this demo because I don't do horror games, but like, so any other game, but no, but like, like it's just such a great way. Like, I miss the days when you got like in your cereal package you get like a disc with some game demos on. Like, I miss that, and this is the best version of that, of like testing out games there is, in a way. It's just here's a game, test it out for a bit, see if you like it. If you like it, you can buy it through these links, or if you didn't like it, then try something else.
Exactly. And what's great is, so this demo here, it's not like a time limited demo where the original demo that was on Stadia was. If there's no activity for 10 minutes, then they'll kick you from it, but you can play this demo like for as long as you want. I mean, obviously you're going to get to a point where you've done everything, but if you just want to run around in circles for 2 hours, you can do it.
And I mean, I haven't tested this one because, again, horror, but I'm assuming it's like one level. Or something like that, which is like good, like. Yeah, and I mean that's like, how demos were back in the day, and that's like, just here's one level, test it out. Like, if you don't know, if you aren't sure if you like the game or not after one level, then I mean you most likely know what you want to do after that. So bring back the one level demos. Like, thank you. I want more of them.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and right here it's saying, is this still different from those on other platforms? And they're saying right here, Capcom says, the time limit that was on other platforms has been removed. There are no difference of in-game content. So specs, game scope, etc. So they point it all right out for you here. I can't see mentions here in the chat. Yep, the article was in February, and that we were referencing. And this could be testing waters for Capcom service. And it very well could be. I mean, even if they just use this as a means to put demos out for people to try it, like, I mean, this is so good because you don't have to go to any store and any like the Stadia store, Xbox or PlayStation store, whatever. This is just right on their website, open, click, and you're off, and you can play it on pretty much any device that you own here. So they go into great detail in the Q&A here, and they talk about it. So this was revealed Wednesday night around 11 o'clock Eastern. And this came out, and then we saw the next day, the official Stadia Twitter account here actually tweets us this question: what does Immersive Stream for Games and Capcom have in common? The answer: dedication to bringing games directly to the players, starting with the launch of a cloud demo for Resident Evil Village. And this is a direct link to the website that we were on here. But what I want to mention here, there's also a blog that Google put out here that we're going to take a look at. But I think this is what I wanted to talk about. So Bryant from the Nerf Report tweeted out, he said, "Congrats on the launch. What does this mean for those of us still using the Stadia platform? If developers launch games on their own services through ISG, Immersive Stream for Games, does that mean they will eventually be coming to Stadia as well? Any clarification will be greatly appreciated." We kind of speculated, and we had the same question on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's an understandable question.
Yeah. I mean, this is good. Is this like a gateway for developers to bring their games to Stadia as well? And we got the official response here. Hey, Bryant, thanks for the question. The specific answer will always be up to our partners. Some are interested in a direct relationship with players. Some want to take advantage of the distribution opportunity they have with Stadia. And some, like Capcom, are doing both. So here we go. So it appears that there's not any type of contractual requirement that says, if you become a partner for Immersive Stream for Games, that you then have to bring your game to Stadia as well.
And I mean, I as a Stadia fan, I would of course
Mhm.
love a clause like that in the agreement, but I also get why they don't do it, because obviously having that clause means the like signing on for Immersive Stream For Games or
Yep.
Stadia is a much bigger project, and that will scare people away. So like I get it. I
Yeah.
would prefer if
Yeah.
it was in the agreement, of course.
Right.
But yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And I think really at this point in the quote unquote game, Stadia doesn't really have that leverage to require it. I mean, obviously we see
exactly,
here that's saying, right, like they're saying, okay, yeah, if you want to, you can. But I think if they would say, sure, you could become a partner, but then you also have to do Stadia, I think that would just like raise the bar, and maybe some people that were a little iffy on it would be like, nah.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And
starting out small like this is, I think, really good. Like not having that requirement, I think is good to start.
Yeah, and I mean it's at this point for Stadia. I mean, 3 years is a long time, but it's also in the grand scheme of things not that long. I mean,
Right.
they are still in the process where they are building up relationships with developers and publishers, and that takes all kinds of forms. And this is obviously one of those forms. And like being chill about the rules like that is obviously not great for the fans, but it's great for the relationship for over the long run.
Right.
Which of course will make sure we get more games, better games, for a long time. So
yeah, exactly. I totally agree.
But we gamers are bad at patience, so I mean,
yeah,
we don't have.
Which I understand sometimes. I mean, we all would like to see the process sped up a bit, but I mean, ultimately, there's not someone behind the curtain saying, you know what, let's drop this down 20 notches here, and we really could be here, but no, let's go down here. There's always a reason for actions that are being done, whether we like it or not, or understand or agree, but there's always reasons behind it. So
yeah,
I think this is
the older I get,
really
the more I'm fine with it in a way. I have a backlog as it is. It's fine.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. So also we saw here, let's get this closed out, that there was on the Google blog, the product manager for Immersive Stream for Games. They did a blog post the next day. So that was Thursday, yesterday, if you're watching this live. Power discovery and trial with Immersive Stream for Games. So this blog post here kind of touches upon what you're saying about, growing up, about not knowing, because, like when we were growing up as kids, getting a game, it was like you maybe got like 1 or 2 a year. You mostly rented games.
Yeah, I didn't even rent it. It was just for me. It was like I had the 1 or 2 games a year, and that was it. And I mean, it was also like, as he mentions in the blog there, like it's a stressful and risky choice. Like if you pick a bad game, you have a bad game, and I have your own games. I mean, comparing that to how it's for my kids now. I mean, my kids are my 6-year-old is really into gaming, and like for him, whenever he's like, yeah, I want to play a new game, I'm like, yeah, so which one of these like thousands of games should you get right next? Because I have like a massive library, and like I had like 5 games.
Exactly. Like sometimes having all these games at your fingertips is actually like bad for you, because like you said, when you only had 5 to choose from, you always found something to play, right? Like it was never
and like you also
I don't want to play any of them.
Like I don't research things. Like I think it kind of taught me how to research purchases before I made them. Like if I'm to buy, like, let's say we need to buy a new TV or something, and like I will spend a month researching, like finding like the best of the best within the price range I'm at. And I think a lot of that is thanks to the fact that I did that for video games and at that point, you couldn't just go online and search for like Google a bit or watch some trailers. Like you had to delve through like magazines, and it was a whole different thing. So kids have it easy these days. I'm getting old.
My lawn. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Right, because I mean, when you bought a game, back we'll just say back in the day. I know that sounds horrible, so
Yeah.
cliche, but it's like you bought it. It was, once you opened it, it was yours, and you were stuck with it. If you didn't like it, well, tough bananas. You're gonna sit there and you'll end up playing it, and you're gonna unlock everything, and you'll spend the next year just playing it. So
Yeah, and
this
I mean,
is
I remember I traded in I had for the Game Advanced Golden Sun 1 and 2, amazing games. One of, like, to this very day, one of the best JRPGs I've ever played. I had both of them and in mint condition, and I handed them in to get like 50% off of another game, and that game was honestly kind of bad. And like to this day, like I wish I still had that, because I looked at the price of those. Like they are like buying even one of those games, like from some half reputable sites, which is the only ones that have it still in a box copy. That would set me back more than buying a AAA game.
Right. Yeah.
Because they are rare at this point, and I had to. Yeah, it was a different time.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yes, yeah, exactly. So, the blog post goes on here about talking about, these difficult choices for games and demos and being able to try them out. And sure enough, mentions here, of course, Immersive Stream for Games, the technology that powers both our Stadia platform and publishers' ability to deliver directly to their players. So again, it goes on in a little bit here and explains what Immersive Stream for Games is, and talks about the click-to-play, discovery, and trial. Mentions AT&T, Batman control that was just brought on to there as well and released for AT&T customers. And then it goes on here to explain about Capcom being able to offer their games directly again to their customers here with just a simple click. You can see here if you're using it on a mobile device or a tablet or whatnot, you've got the on-screen virtual controller, which is good because not everybody does. I mean, I prefer myself to use the controller, but hey, you know what? To each their own. There's a whole generation or a whole group of people that play games on the mobile devices or tablets and never use the controller. It's always used that.
I mean, my son plays Minecraft Dungeons on a phone and with touch controls. And at one point we plugged in the key sheet to his phone and he could try it out, and it was like, yeah, and it played it for like one level, and then it was like, yeah, I just want to keep using the touch controls because that was more intuitive to him, and I was like, no, it's not.
I know.
But, yeah, and I mean, Sam, it is what it is. But it's also interesting, like this whole blog post, it reads like it is obviously partly aimed towards like people who don't know what it is, but a lot of the especially the image captions. Whereas a lot of the language in the text feels like more like almost like a sales pitch to publishers and companies. I think this blog post isn't maybe for us as consumers and fans. It's probably more for like the EA's, Paradoxes, and Capcoms of the world, which is totally fine. Right? Like they are the ones who are going to bring the games in the end. So sure, exactly. Sell to them, go for it. But it would be fun to see one of these posts more aimed towards us as a fan.
Yes,
But at one point, I'm guessing we'll see one.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we can have fun. We can have fun with this.
Yeah, for sure. And as you can see here, of course, they mentioned Stadia as well, and that they've got trials on here, 15 and counting, that you can try those games. But pardon me there. What's really interesting here is the last little section here in the paragraph says the future of exploration and play. So they go on here to say Immersive Stream for Games makes games more immediately accessible for players across more devices. That's awesome. That's, getting your game out to as many people as possible is your ultimate goal. And to be able to do this with platforms like Immersive Stream for Games is a big plus. They go on here and say with the ability to choose how and where they want to play, and compared to the challenges of in-person industry events, because COVID is still, although things have gotten better, it's still around. It's still
Yeah,
a threat
it's
as
still a
well.
thing, and
Yeah,
it's gonna
yeah,
be for a long time still. Most likely, it will be.
yeah,
It will be a while before we're finally rid of this thing.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And shout out to Petter Games. Hey, Craig, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And now they're talking about cloud gaming as a unique ability to help publishers. Let's go here so we can follow along. Deliver their games for players to discover and try in seconds. Our work with customers like Capcom and AT&T, as well as our own ongoing development of Stadia. So the key words there is our own ongoing. I guess ongoing is going to be the biggest thing here that we're going to highlight here. Development of Stadia. So they're still continuing to develop and bring features to Stadia. And like I said, and you mentioned it too, as gamers and enthusiasts, we're impatient. We always, want everything, as fast as possible. And it's just, I think really it's like a nature of gaming in itself. And
I mean it's also such a hard line for companies to traverse. Like on one hand, you do want to like show off your things as early as possible, not only to get feedback and make things better, but also because I mean, as we say, gamers are impatient. But if you're too early, then obviously it's too long until something until release, and people get impatient from that. And it's like where's this thing they promise and things like that. Whereas if you're then keep it too late, then you have nothing to say, and then people get impatient. So it's like it's such a thin line, and I think it's like how to tread that one perfectly fine, and especially during times of COVID when things take longer than usual that we're used to. Then. Yeah, I am not envying the PR teams of these companies, and I think like a lot of these more legacy gaming companies like Sony and Microsoft, they've been doing like finding like that line and missed several times in the past, both of them. So I mean, it's all about finding their footing, and sure it's. I'm not saying Stadia has found their footing yet, but I'm also like they're gonna get there. It's gonna be too early for a while, then too late for a while, and then
eventually. And I think really here is Google learned a lesson early on when we first heard about Stadia GDC 2019, and they were talking about all these features leading up to launch and whatnot, and then the features weren't ready and available, and people like, oh, well, you talked about this and you said state share and all these other different features that we now know and love about Stadia, but they weren't ready for launch. So kind of letting that out too early, they got burned by media, and also, I think they learned their lesson.
And I know, like as someone who works in the tech industry, it's like you see these MVPs all over, like every single time you do something in the industry. It's like we built like this is the goal, and then we build 10% of that as the MVP. And then we build on there from there. And I mean, Google do the same. And when you're talking to other people in the tech industry, you're like, go for it. Explain the vision, and then release the MVP, and because people get it. But obviously, talking like the GDC talk was this weird thing in the middle because it wasn't GDC, which is aimed towards developers, but it was also streamed, and everyone was super excited about it. So it became this thing where we as consumers were also looking in on it, and we don't have that same. I mean, most of us at least don't have that same vision. Like ability to see the vision and see, all right, this is the MVP. This is where they're aiming, and on the way things will change, of course, as they find out new things. And I think, I think it was like, it was maybe a mistake to like really announce it the way they did. They needed to do that style of announcement for the developers and the publishers. They probably maybe needed to have another announcement first for the consumers. But again, like hindsight is, it's easy to say that in hindsight, but I mean,
exactly.
They did what they are used to, and it usually works for the people that we're talking to. I mean, you just look at Google I/O. It's the same thing in every Google I/O. It's like, here's this very cool thing that's releasing in 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's like, that's what the event is about, and it was the same thing with that. And I mean,
Y-
yeah,
You,
it is an
you live
ongoing
and learn.
development. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, it's an ongoing development. We'll eventually get there.
Yep,
So
exactly. So just I want to give a shout out here. Nerf Report Bryant in the chat. Brian, I don't know if you're just coming in. We were talking about your tweet before we
yeah,
brought
you were
up the
featured before you
blog
joined.
here. Yes. And asking about the Immersive Stream for Games and what that means. Are developers going to, can they bring their games to Stadia as well? So very good question. I know a lot of people were wondering about that. And we heard from Stadia themselves is that, it's their choice. They don't have to bring the games to Stadia, but like Capcom, they can feature it
Yeah,
direct to their own players, and also bring it to the Stadia community as well. So that's good to see here. So that was a little bit of news here on Immersive Stream from Game, Capcom being the second partner. But we also had some other news. World War Z, the game. So there was a big hoopla when it came out on Stadia here. It launched into Stadia Pro, which was awesome. The initial announcement a few months before mentioned about crossplay and what have you. Unfortunately, the game did not launch with crossplay. And then there were some people that asked, "Oh, is crossplay coming?" And pretty much the answer was no. Like, it's not planned, or we don't have any updates to give you. Well, sure enough, here just a few days ago, World War Z, they put out a tweet that says we've got some updates coming very soon, and they mentioned 3 different points here. And the third point got the attention of the Stadia community, saying here, for Stadia players, we plan to deliver an update with crossplay, awesome, and the cut and mend update. And we'll have more news on timing as soon as we can. So while we didn't get like an exact date or even a time frame of saying, summer or anything like that, we know that they're working on it and it's coming.
yeah.
So
And I mean, it would have been great if that was a response initially. But I'm guessing at that point, like the social teams, they didn't know. So I mean, it's hard to say something unless you know. And like at that point, we're like, yeah, we maybe think like it's in the pipeline, but no one's working on it right now. So and now someone's probably started working on it. So
yeah,
I mean,
so
it was
people
in the
work on
Jira
it.
backlog, and then someone picked up the Jira ticket and started working on it. That's just the way that it works.
Exactly. And so I thought I'd play the trailer here for the cut and mend update that they're talking about here. It mentions here that there's like a new sword melee weapon, a
Some
rifle variant,
trinkets as well. I
yeah,
like
special
little
rewards.
rubber ducks.
Yeah.
I was a fan of rubber ducks.
Yeah, so this is cool. There's a bunch of new different updates and whatnot, and little quality of life improvements and items for the med kit like adrenaline and things like that. So those are all on their way to Stadia. We know, like I said, we know that they're now officially confirmed that they're coming, so it's good. And like you mentioned, it would have been awesome to hear this when the game launched, but for whatever reason, I don't know. Again, stuff goes on behind the scenes there, and we really don't understand. But for whatever reason, it wasn't mentioned at all. So a couple months out, crossplay is coming, and the cut and mend update is also coming to World War Z as well. So let's see here. I see Craig Petter Games is like, what exactly is the function of a rubber duck? Name the film. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's
actually don't
mentioning
know
Howard the Duck, or I don't know what he's.
I
what
feel
he's
there's a reference
referring
here
to.
that I'm not getting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And Craig also makes a good point here. Exactly. A lot of people confuse social media team with developers, and even you can extend that over to PR as well, because many a times the PR is not aware of what's going on behind the scenes in developer. The same with social. It's because they're not meant to know really what's going on. we look at the Terraria update that came out over a month ago, and the PR release saying, oh, it's on all platforms, and it mentions, PlayStation, Xbox, and it mentions Stadia. And sure enough, fire it up, it's not out there. So I emailed PR back, and I was like, no, it's not available on Stadia. And do you know when it'll be available? And they're, are you sure? It's supposed to be out, and it's here. No. And they came back and said, I can't tell you. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. It's there's always those areas that you're going to see some miscommunication, and one hand doesn't talk to the other.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the best things for my own sanity when it comes to this sort of thing, that I do, think of what you will about the game Star Citizen. Some people don't think it will come out. Some people love it. I love the tech side of it. If the game comes out, awesome. If it doesn't, whatever. I like that. My $30 is my it was years ago. It's fine.
Right.
But one of the best things, I did follow the development quite closely for a while, and because they are such a crowdfunded game, they do show everything is on their sleeves. And I remember leading up to one of the I think it was Alpha version 3 or something released. They did I think daily or maybe weekly video updates, and they were essentially this. They had some people in the PR team who were like, yeah, we're just gonna go around and make mini documentaries every day and post that, and that meant you got to see these go no go meetings. The management team was like, yeah, all right, so we have how many blockers right now? We have 5 blockers, we have 10 critical bugs. If these 5 are still here, we can't release. The game is so broken. And if you fix these 5, we still have 10 bugs that are super bad, but they're not technically blocking us from going live. And they had this list, and you could every day they updated this list, you could track it. It was great, it was fun. It also gave such a good insight to how it is. And I mean, it's not just that studio; they are 5 studios, 600 people all across 5 countries or whatever it is at this point. But even it doesn't matter if any studio, big or small, where it's more than 1 people working on things. That's how it looks.
Yeah.
At every point in time. And I mean, just having seen that and realizing, oh, that's what's happening. It's I think it's healthy to have that in the back of your mind. And I mean, if you haven't seen that for if in either firsthand, if you're working in tech or from something like that, then you don't know, and it's completely different when you know how the reality usually looks at these places. I mean, some of these bugs are so bad that it's if you walk across this, if you step on this thing, your computer dies, and you have to reboot the whole computer. And I was we don't know what's happening. It was causing it. It's just we can't have that in.
Exactly. And Clive here makes a good point here in the comment. PR often just read, and FAQ can only say what is official. If you think about it, PR to a certain degree is almost like if you're going into, I'm just going to use Walmart for example. The Walmart greeter there, they're hello, happy. They're only told a certain amount of things and their knowledge. Sure, behind the scenes there's other stuff going on, but it's not public or ready to go to PR. So it's that thin line.
And I had a friend who for a bunch of years ago used to work for Apple support in Ireland, and whenever and she told me there were so many cases where she knew what the problem was, she knew how to fix it, but because there wasn't any official fix for it yet, she wasn't even allowed to acknowledge the fault. She knew what they felt this is a known error. I know what to I know a workaround. Because Apple is refusing to acknowledge unless they had a fix, they were so you can call in my iPhone is it's restarting whenever I do this, and that's try wiping it, and she was I know what the fault error is here, but because Apple hasn't done a fix, Apple is pretending that the fault isn't there. I mean, that's like, yeah, she was like, yeah, I'm not allowed to help you, essentially, at that point.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I mean, it's frustrating for everyone at that point. Like,
Mhm.
obviously, someone
Yeah.
wants help, someone has the answer, but they're not allowed to give it because it's not in the FAQ. And
Right.
for PR
Yep.
teams, when you ask questions about something in development, it's pretty much the same. Like, if they don't know it, either they're not allowed to share the, like, either it's a fact of I don't know, or it's a fact of I'm not
Mhm.
allowed to tell you, or it's a
Right.
mixture of the both. So
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Or it could be the it could be exactly what it is. Like they just don't know.
yeah,
So yeah. So anyways, this we're gonna segue in here. So we saw that
this is
Stoked for
something we do
Good.
know.
Yes, this is something we do know for sure. Dead by Daylight is going to have Stadia Play Days, so you're going to be able to check out Dead by Daylight through June 13th. So this actually started yesterday on Thursday the 9th, and through the 13th, you'll be able to play Dead by Daylight as part of a promotion with the Stadia Play Days.
Yeah,
And I
it doesn't require
know,
Pro, right?
no, I believe it doesn't. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think it does. And I know that there's new content. It's either recently dropped or getting ready to drop for Dead by Daylight. I know that they always have like a bunch of stuff on sale in the store as well.
Yeah, now I'm curious if the play free, like if it's free to play for this weekend on any platform.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
I mean,
don't know.
if it is, obviously Stadia is the best one too, because it's just you don't have to install anything.
Yeah.
I think I remember, like, usually you have these, like, PlayStation and Xbox, they also have these free to play, like, play this game for free over this weekend. I never do that because, like, I don't have time and space. Like, I don't want to make space on my hard drive for a 50 gigabyte download to play something over the
Right.
weekend, then have to delete it, and then it will
Yeah.
sit there in my library as something that I can't start. I think I still have like the Far Cry 4 demo for PS3. It's still
Right.
in my library, and I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's stuck
So
there.
it's
So it's
let's see here.
yeah, it definitely is an advantage here to be able to play on Stadia. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is just Stadia only. Hey, Death Alive, how you doing? Let's see here. It says a quick hello. We'll watch completely later tonight. Alrighty, appreciate that. So yeah, so Dead by Daylight, part of the Stadia Play Days, started yesterday, Thursday, through the 13th, which I believe is Monday. Yep, memory serves me correct here. Today is the 10th. So check that out if you haven't already. And we also have now a little bit of news here. Sky Climbers, our good friends, Paratrope, over at Sky Climbers, have a brand new trailer for Sky Climbers here. And let's take a look at
hot.
it. Yes. I'm going to go back here. We're going to bring it up. We're not going to have any sound here, but we can take a look at this bad boy here. This looks fantastic, almost like Pokemon, like as far as the different characters in here.
I mean, it is sort of like Pokemon meets Valheim with a dash of like city skylines.
That's
good one. That is three things that I love. So
yep. Yeah,
I can't wait for the Stadia release. I did try it on I think I booted up some sort of Paperspace virtual machine for just to try it out when the alpha first launched. And obviously that it was very alpha, but it feels like there is a good core here that when it's more done will be really, really fun.
Yeah, it's definitely. And we did see that there's been a delay in the games. They need more time to work on it, which is
understandable.
Fine.
Like,
yeah,
I as soon as I played like a few minutes of that earlier, like first alpha release, like the same day that it released, I was like, yeah, they are not ready to release this in any sort of early access this year. It's not gonna happen. And then, I mean, to be fair, the rate of releases after that, like they released quite big content patches like weekly for several weeks after that. So it's not that they're not working hard; they're working really hard, and a really effective team at building things like in speeds that I didn't think they would be able to. But yeah, it's early. It needs a lot of work, obviously, and which is perfectly fine. I can, like, the longer they take, the better it will be, and I I'm just excited to play the final version,
Yeah,
and then
I
the version in between.
there you go. I love the aesthetics in this. Like, this
Yeah,
is just
it
the
is
art
gorgeous.
style they've chosen is awesome. And again, really looking forward to it. Take your time, whatever you need to do to make it the best that you can, because there's nothing like a first impression, right? So
Yeah, the only thing I wish would happen a little bit faster is the shipping to Europe of the plushies, because I'm still waiting on my plushie.
Oh yeah, yep,
And it's
exactly.
I'm gonna have to make some space over there for it, but I can't wait for my plushie. It's so cute. I'm also
Yep.
I'm also assuming my kids will just steal it from me. But
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
I'll have to steal it back when they go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Put it out of their reach there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving along here.
I can just quickly add before we move along to From
Mhm.
Space that yes, it's Dead by Daylight is free to play on all platforms over the weekend,
Oh,
which
okay.
means that Stadia is the best way to do it because it's just one click.
Yep, exactly. That's awesome.
So if you haven't tried the game before, don't bother with installing it on your PlayStation or Xbox or PC. Just click the link and go.
Go.
Simple as that.
So we saw From Space, their Twitter account has been ramping up their tweets recently. We spoke with Remco. Oh, it's probably been over a month now ago. We were talking about From Space, and he was telling us that right around this, which this is traditionally the E3 time of the year, that there's going to be some announcements. We heard about they've got a publisher lined up, and like I said,
we're getting closer.
We are getting closer. The anticipated release was Q2, but we know that can always get pushed back. So my fingers are crossed here, because I believe that's somewhere in between like July. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's around this time, within a couple of months here or there. So we're seeing the From Space, the Twitter account, really beefing up their presence here. They're talking about Instagram, TikTok, Discord, and
A
we got
lovely looking GIF.
Yes.
I mean, this is also one of these indie games that just look gorgeous. This looks
Oh
like
yes, yeah.
Like the art style. It's simple but so good looking. Like I love the way this game looks.
Yep. And we even know that from the demo that we had, the graphics have changed. Remco has told us, that they've been redesigned, they've been upgraded. A couple of weeks ago, we got a screenshot from in the game. What was that? 8K resized to
that looked
down. It looked good, and considering what it had to go through, the processing of Twitter and all that other stuff. So I'm really excited for this. We've also got another tweet from them. From Space says, we can't contain them much longer. Tune in to the Guerrilla Collective Showcase. So that's Saturday, tomorrow, June the 11th.
Little trailer dropping there. Then.
Yes. And it's going to happen at 11 a.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. CET, 8 a.m. Pacific. You know what? I can't wait. I'm going to have this tuned in, and I want to see just what.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good week to be a gamer. It's a really good week to be a gamer.
Yeah, definitely. This is so excited for this year, and it's just been pretty awesome. Like I said, their Twitter account here, they've really ramped up here. That was from in May the 24th. Yep. Yeah, they are mentioning here.
I wouldn't mind one of those monsters as a player.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. And we had mentioned that to Remco too about merchandise. So I don't know. Maybe it could be in the works here.
Hopefully.
Yep. So we also got from their Twitter account here, just these funny little things to get interaction, like,
yeah, that was a good joke like, in there.
What's he saying?
Yes, I'll hold.
Yeah. Or what's this? How do I use this silly thing? So it's great to see. We're going to see more From Space tomorrow. Guerrilla Collective Showcase. You've got the links in the description of the video here, so definitely check that out. And shout out to, I see Squid's here. How are you doing? Lurking for a minute. Geek the Sneak is here as well. It says, what's up, peeps? Yes, thank you so much. Really appreciate everyone stopping by here, checking it out. So, we heard some good news from our friends at World War Z. On the flip side, Golf with Friends, they're not really too well liked in the Stadia community at the moment.
Yeah, they.
We did get it. So the game launched, and then now it's been a month or 2 months. It's now been added to Stadia Pro, which I personally myself think that it should have just launched into Stadia Pro from the get-go, but neither here nor there. There was a tweet out a couple of days ago that there's going to be a new course so that you can play with your friends, and it looks pretty neat. And we're like, oh, I saw this tweet. I'm like, this is awesome. Coming June 21st, and Steam,
really soon,
Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. And at this point in the game, we're used to not seeing them, that they mentioned Stadia. So I was like, is this going to come to Stadia 2 on the 21st? And unfortunately, the official response at the moment here, this will only be available on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch on the 21st. And I said, okay, that's fair enough. Do you know when it will be coming to Stadia? And they say here, at the moment, there are no plans to bring this update to Stadia. If anything changes, we'll update you here first.
Yeah, and we did talk earlier about how PR and social media teams usually maybe don't have all the details, and maybe hopefully that's what's happening here as well. But I mean, it's obviously not a good look.
No, it's not, and even if it wasn't, there's comments were made here, like even if it's coming out at a later date, like we're seeing with World War Z now. That's cool, but just knowing that something is in the works. So a lot of people made their voice clear on their disappointment of this. So let's see, who knows, maybe things could change over the next couple of months. And they see that this additional course is going to be released for Stadia. So we'll see, but at the moment it's a disappointment that seeing that that it's currently, from what we understand here, like you said, again, at the moment, there are no plans to bring the update with Golf for Friends. But that doesn't mean the game still isn't fun when you're playing with your friends here. Just because I'm not going to get one course doesn't mean I'm not going to play the game. It's on Stadia Pro now. And of course, one of the perks for Stadia Pro is for developers to show them that incentive, right? The 85-15 split, getting part of the monthly Stadia Pro revenue, which the scientist has been talking with Yves over at 100 Days and Broken Arm Games, and he's got quite a bit of financial information that Yves has been sharing. And we're actually going to have the scientist, Rafael Polidero, on the show in a couple of weeks. He's getting some more information, and he's going to be recompiling and talking about, what this info means and what we're able to see from this information. We know Yves mentioned too that his Stadia Pro revenue was between 20 and 25% of his overall revenue.
Which is
so
insane.
Yes,
that is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I just gotta say, I love. I mean, first of all, I love the game, but I also love the fact that Yves is so open with this sort of stuff. Like, this is sort of stuff that you'd never see otherways, and he's just sharing it, like happy to share it. And I mean, mad respects to that mad lad. It's
yeah, he was so
great.
awesome. Like, again, yeah, it is awesome to speak with him. So who knows? Like
they
you
also
said,
have a really nice looking office, by the way. I've seen them popping up on TikTok. They do some like office show clips, like showing up off the office, showing the office, and it's really nice looking.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, I mean, if you live in the area where they work, hit them up. Maybe they have a job for you.
Yeah, exactly, right? So like I said, Golf with Friends is on Stadia Pro. So I'm still gonna play and enjoy the game. Unfortunately, like you said,
I haven't even had time to test it yet. So I'm really excited to just give it a try. I did, I started at one point to, like, maybe I have time now, and I was like first hole I couldn't even I think I had some bugs so that I couldn't hit the ball at all, and then I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. And then something happened. I was like, I don't have time to play more than 5 minutes now anyway, so I just shut it down. But
Yeah.
so I'm excited to try it out. It looks really fun.
Yeah, it is playing it along with your friends. I know Original Penguin and others in the community have played it. Is super fun, and I've played it as well. So definitely, like I said, it is sad that there aren't any plans at the moment, but it's kind of a double-edged sword here. Again, early on in Stadia's life and in cloud gaming is, definitely you can voice your discourse, and displeasure of no, it's not coming. But then again, if nobody plays it on Stadia Pro, then they're going to say, well, why should we bring our games to Stadia if no one's playing? So you have to have, at this point in the venture, it's that double-edged sword. Again, like I say, still voice, your displeasure with it, and you want to see it.
Yeah, and I mean specifically, if you look at, for example, a couple of weeks ago when Epic, Tim Sweeney was responding to some Stadia tweets. I mean, just if even Fortnite don't find it financially viable to port it over, then I mean, obviously that speaks miles. And I mean, because you got to keep in mind, especially for something that's being continuously updated, any new platform, even if it doesn't matter how smooth the porting is. Like if the porting is is essentially just press a button, you don't have to do anything. You still have to test it. And just the cost of testing one platform for every, and so if let's say they release every 2 weeks, I think it is. Let's say you release some sort of patch every month on a games as a service game. I mean, just the patch, the testing alone is easily in the $10,000, $50,000 ballpark,
right?
Just for one platform, and you need to do this for every single platform release. And so I mean, I get it. Again, it's not one of these things. I get it, but I don't like it. It's one of those.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you don't test it enough, you're gonna have bugs and angry customers anyway. So you can't really win that one. It's just if you can, if you know you will you get the money back, then sure.
Right.
There is a cost related to having another platform. It's just the matter of the way it is.
So I see Paul here in the chat who's referencing the poll that we have. Maurice is missing, and we've got several different choices. And Paul says here the poll's missing one, and that's Maurice is stealing all the ladies. So we know Maurice is a ladies' man for sure. So we don't know. We'll find out what everyone thinks later on in the show here. Ron, I think
I think he's just horsing around.
So Maurice horsing around here. Ron is probably one of the biggest fans of Maurice, because every time I see Ron, he's always asking about Maurice. So Ron, hopefully one day soon we can get Maurice on. Maybe we can even get Maurice to give a personal shout out to Ron here, because I know Ron is really missing Maurice now. And we got Victor here. Hey Victor, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. So moving along here, Talking Dogs. There's been a lot of information and news about Talking Dogs this month here. We know that the official release date's June 30th, 2023. So it's still about a year away. And it's in, working along here. And sure enough, they've put out a gameplay trailer that's a work in progress here. We won't watch the entire. It's a 5-minute trailer here. Yeah. I've got the link in the description. So for those that want to watch, the entire trailer here, you can feel free. The biggest the takeaways here that we can see is Phil's been redesigned. And it's using the Unreal 5 engine, and we get a little glimpse of some of the environment here and some of the characters. And I'm going to tell you, even though again it's work in progress, Carson, this is all being done by one person.
Yeah, so, and I mean it's really good looking. The graphics and the art style is incredible, and considering it's one person job, it's mind blowing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think I said to him we DM'd a bit about the game earlier this week, and I said to him like I'm still not really grasping what the game is about. Like
Hmm.
what do I do in the game
Yep.
from the trailer, but at the same time, like it doesn't really like if you would say like here is Journey or here is Flower, like
Hmm.
gorgeous games, like
Right.
here's a 5 minute just clip of someone running around the world, you wouldn't really get what the game is about. Like
Right.
what, because I mean it is sort of artsy in a way, like it's one of
Yeah.
these, and artsy games are always hard to explain to people.
Yeah.
And I mean get it like yeah, it's even if it's just a fun game, fun little experience, it's still
Hmm.
like how do you explain what the experience is about to
Yeah.
someone in just a matter of a few
Right.
minutes while also
Yep.
making it engaging to watch. And I mean I think visually it's stunning, and I think like especially my kids will have, especially my daughter will probably have a blast with it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
And
we'll see what it's about. I don't
yeah.
really care what it's about. It just looks fun,
Yeah.
gorgeous. I will
Exactly.
just give it a whirl.
Yep. And Carson mentioned, this is again geared towards the younger audience, kids and families. So this is going to be, what I think it's like. It's going to probably be similar to some of the outright games like the Paw Patrol and things like that. I mean, you might not necessarily be collecting coins and whatnot, but you're going through this world, more about the story, and we know that um, the Talking Dogs isn't just going to be limited, to this game. There's he also announced a VR game coming for PSVR 2, documentary video with Amazon that's going to be on there that we were released. I love this right here because all these crabs come here and he's trying to jump away from them. And he goes around and looks, and Phil's kind of got like a little posse here. There we go. Look at all the crabs coming to check it out here.
Oh
So
crap!
yeah, so it's pretty awesome. Different environments. Again, it's a year away from release, so I'm sure we'll hear more about it over the next several months. And it's just hats off to Carson. Again, a one-person show doing all of this, so it's amazing. And he even announced another game as well.
Yeah, how does he
I
find the time? I can't even
I
find time to
don't
make
know.
videos.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. I tried to get out of him. Is it coming to Stadia as well? He says no comment. So
I mean, it
fingers
must be
crossed.
years away, so obviously he
Yeah.
can't comment on platform just
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, exactly. But we know Talking Dogs. I almost said Walking Dogs. Talking
Maybe.
Dogs.
Hey, it's a
is-
dog walking, so sure.
Yeah, there you go. Right, June 30th, 2023, and always excited to hear more info about it. I'm
Yeah.
going to change up here. The next thing I wanted to talk about, we mentioned it on the last show here. The Ghost Recon, the issue with the saves. Ubisoft resolved the majority issue. What it was happening was all because of this cloud saves, Ubisoft is in control or manages those saves for some reason. Everyone's save on Stadia was lost. The majority they've restored. They did it over the period of 5 to 6 days, and there was a holiday weekend in the US, and they brought the majority of people's saves back. Now, there still are some people that have an open ticket with Ubisoft, and their saves haven't been restored. But what we wanted to mention here is that Ubisoft now, it says right here, update. In regards to this recent incident, our team has decided to grant a compensation of 20,000 credits and 700 ghost coins to all Stadia players. You can connect to the game and enjoy your bonus currently immediately. So I thought that was a nice little
Nice
gesture.
conversation, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice gesture.
yeah,
And I mean,
yeah.
I can only speculate as to what like happened behind the scenes there, but like it feels like obviously all of these saves are stored in a database somewhere. And some sort of database corruption. Someone did we gotta patch the server with new Windows update, and then something corrupted, and
Sure.
it's like, oh, we gotta
Very well
restore
could have been.
restore things from this backup from 2 days ago, and then that probably took some time, and like they only need to resource one part, so they had to extract that manually, and like that's probably something along the lines of what happened. And then if someone's still not working, then obviously they need to go to a backup, find that specific person's save file, move that
Yeah.
over.
Right. So
I mean,
it could
it's
take.
I've had to do similar things, no, obviously not for
Mhm.
games, but for like other things in the past, and it's
Yeah.
let me tell you, it's not fun.
You're saying,
It's so
"Oh,
boring and
we've got to go
stressful.
to we've got to go to the backup. What day? Oh, that's the day that the backup failed and it didn't
Yeah,
run."
maybe like they do it the day before, or hang on, yeah, that's on another archive server. I don't have access to that one because yeah.
Yeah. So kudos to Ubisoft there for acknowledging the problem, working to resolve the majority of them, and hopefully those with outstanding tickets can get their saves back in a relatively short time here.
Yeah, and if you're missing your save, drop them a ticket.
Yep.
They
Yeah,
can-
definitely
they can restore
contact
it.
Ubisoft, and yeah, they'll definitely get a ticket open. Our last bit of official news here comes from the way of the Samsung Gaming Hub. Now, back at CES earlier this year in January, we learned about the Samsung Gaming Hub and how there'll be different streaming services on there. And of course, Stadia is one of them. Let's minimize this. But we weren't sure exactly when it was coming out. We've now got an official confirmation. June 30th, the Samsung Gaming Hub will launch on 2022 models of their TVs. So if you bought one in December, sorry.
And I mean,
I'm
I hate that
sure
about
there's
TVs.
people. Yeah.
Like I bought a Philips Android TV, that was 2020 edition, and
Mhm.
it has not gotten the, and like 2021, Google released a massive update for Android TV.
Yeah.
I don't have that update.
Yeah.
I barely even have the security updates because they're not updating the TVs. And this was the like mid-range flagship, the best seller among the lineup for that year. So obviously,
Yep.
like, but yeah, I understand why Samsung obviously releases on their top of line because line TVs. Guessing they will release this over the coming years on maybe back to 2021 at least, hopefully.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, this is just shows to me that if you want a good experience on a TV, you want to have some sort of like a Chromecast or a Shield TV, or like I have Android TV built in into my TV. It's nice, but if you want updates and want new features, you will not get it on a TV. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't buy new TVs very often, so
right, exactly, right. So
like,
I bought a LG back. I guess it was. I'm right at the cusp. I have a C9, and it was end of 2019, I suppose. Not sure exactly. Anyways, it was right at the cusp of not getting the Stadia app, like, doesn't work on the WebOS, right? So, and I'm not gonna buy another. The TV was expensive enough as it is, over $2,000 when I got it. So it was like, you know what? I already have Chromecast.
and I'm guessing the image quality is pretty great. And
yeah.
I mean, I have a 4.1 surround system now with like soundbars and some back speakers and subwoofer. Like, I have great image, I have great sound. I have bad software. Software can fix with a small little streaming stick.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
like, at this point, I'm not buying another TV just so that I don't have to have the Chromecast with Google TV plugged in, because getting another TV, it would cost, like, I can't sell my C9 for what it would cost to buy, you know, whatever the equivalent of a newer one is. And I'm not going to be putting out hundreds of dollars. I'll just use the Chromecast with Google TV. It works perfectly fine for me. It would be nice to have it built into my TV. But, you know, going forward, for people that are buying TVs this year,
I gotta say, the Game Hub it looks like a great way to showcase your games. I really like the way it looks. I just wouldn't like, if you're in the market for a new TV, don't let this be the deciding factor. Let the image quality and the sound quality and things like that be the deciding factor, and then find some software solution that works for you using some sort of streaming stick. And if this happens to be the right TV for you, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the way I
Like,
see it.
yeah, like I know Stadia Pro Gamer, he bought a TV this year. He was having problems with it. He returned it, got his money, and he recently just bought a Samsung TV, and sure enough, he'll be able to use the gaming hub on it. So, that's awesome. He didn't buy it specifically because he knew the gaming hub was coming. It's an added bonus. And like I said, this is, for people that are buying TVs this year, even like the casual person, buying games. This will just be a nice little app and just give more visibility to cloud gaming and Stadia itself. Because we know with like the gaming hub, it's going to be like you'll be able to search for games and it'll give you a list of the different services that they're available and on. So that's pretty cool. We take a look at that. So we're going to transition now from our Stadia news into some of our community news here. Just a reminder.
While you get ready for that, I have a bit of I'm going to do a bit of a speculation thing here. I'm going to make a calculated guess and say I think I know a game we're getting next week. To the platform. I think we will be seeing this is a game that was rated well over a year ago. It was officially confirmed as coming to Stadia well over a year ago. And earlier this year, we learned that it will be published by Recon, the publishers of who were actually listed on as a porting partner of this new porting method, and that is the Sorrow the Chronicles. You remember that one?
I do.
Because I've during this discussion on Twitter earlier today, I just happened to look up. I remember seeing that one get rated. When did that one? When did that release on other platforms? And I was like, it's releasing on Steam on the 16th of June in 5 days. Yes. I think it will, and considering we knew about it coming to Stadia, it was announced for Stadia well over a year ago. I think it, or at least around a year ago. I would say it's a safe bet to say we're getting a day and date.
Oh, that would be awesome. We know that this upcoming, so next week, we're due for This Week on Stadia 2's blog post.
Yeah.
So
I think it will be in there.
See that in there. Wow, that's good. Awesome, and a perfect filler for me while I got ready here. So again, just a reminder. Check out the poll here. Let us know. Maurice is missing, and this is what brought us to it, because Dead by Daylight. There's a post here. You can see Marcus tagged Ninja Guy X here, and Ninja Guy X responded. He says, "Wow, Maurice is insulted." So there's a little a picture here. So, Lost Horse, please help us bring him home, Maurice. He loves pets. He was last seen in a carnival. He usually doesn't wander off like this, and we're all very worried. So I kind of thought...
And the drawing has 3 eyes, I think.
It does. Yeah, there's a little smiley face there. Maurice's back leg, it looks like it's bent or it's slipping. I don't know. So Maurice is missing. That's what prompted the poll here. And Lukey is saying, says the poll made me chuckle. Maurice is the name. Yep. There you go. See, of the dead horse in one of the Dead by Daylight maps. And since to new add-on, they have removed him. Lots of Maurice's missing posts here. And look at that. He's like even perfect.
Yeah, and I just love it when developers are like, because the thing with social media and like virality is I can't remember who said it first, but I saw I think it was a TED Talk where someone said it's like when things go viral, you can do nothing. Like just the only thing you can do is just go with it. Right. And I think that's kind of what they're doing here. They're just like, this became a thing, so let's just go with it. And I hope they keep going with it for as long as they can, because it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
And it is also the best way to get, like, I mean, it gives them more exposure. It gives them it's fun interactions with them, and makes their fans happy. It's just great all around. So I hope they keep doing it.
Yep, that's awesome here. So we definitely wanted to mention that as we moved here into the community news. I wanted to bring that up. Um, Keen, like as we mentioned, the Stadia community is watching and is on the ball. Cody here noticed that the ESRB now there's a rating for Saints Row for Stadia, though nothing is
Yeah,
confirmed. And we know here, we've seen, just because a game gets rated for ESRB doesn't necessarily always mean that it's coming, but this is a good indication. Like, this is a
yeah.
good
It's definitely
indicator
is.
for a step in the right direction. um Hopefully this comes to fruition. I know Saints Row was originally supposed to come out in February, and it's been delayed until August the 24th, I believe. So even if it doesn't come day and date, the fact that it's possibly coming, which this lends to, is really good, and it's a positive thing here.
Yeah, and I mean
So
it's even if the developers aren't ready to say it's coming to Stadia yet,
right.
they have said, he obviously said to the ratings board when they asked, "All right, so this new game that we're rating, which platforms is
Mhm.
it coming for?" They said these are the platforms, and
Right.
if they misspoke, sure, that
Mhm.
happens. But most of the time, it's like, yeah, it's in the plans. We might push it forward or cancel it, but
Right.
we are planning to bring it. It's usually
Yeah.
the case here.
Yeah.
Um,
And like, the average gamer, even a hardcore gamer, they're not going in and searching ESRB and PEGI and all these things for different ratings. Like, the average gamer is just, playing the games and waiting for the official announcements to come and whatnot. So this gives us, like, a little, like you said here, a little bit behind the scenes look. It's possibly
yeah,
in the plans here. They at least have it in for it to be rated. So let's see. Maybe
Rated
they're in
M
the
for
process.
mature.
Yeah, maybe they're in the process of still negotiating. I
yeah,
enjoyed the other Saints Row games that are on Stadia now, so that's this would be a perfect addition. So we'll see over the next coming months. Maybe we'll hear something
yeah. I
about
mean,
it. We
official release
always,
date is somewhere in August, I think.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah, a
plenty
little
of
later of
there's
August.
a few months to learn more. And
Yeah,
if August comes and still not out, then yeah, maybe we'll get it later. Maybe we'll
yep,
get it at all. We'll see. And
right, yeah,
hopefully we'll get it. I think, like, as much as some like there have been discussions on Twitter about, yeah, this is, they are saying it's not coming, so it's not coming. There's been
mhm,
everything from in between there, and I kind of just feel like I'm leaning more towards it's coming at this point.
mhm,
Not only because we do have earlier games from the same developers, we do
yeah,
have obviously a rating. Like, sure, there have been cases where we have gotten ratings and the game hasn't arrived.
mhm,
Um, but a lot of those ratings were quite a long time ago, and the ones that are very recent are like super recent. Like, for example, Hot Wheels was rated, what, 2 months ago, and
right,
obviously not out.
right,
It's not out yet for Stadia, and it's out for, and but that game released in October for other platforms. It was rated in April for us. So
mhm,
I mean, it could mean we're getting it in come the holidays. It could mean we're getting it next year. It could mean we're getting it in date. Could
right.
of course mean we're not getting it at all, but I'm leaning towards we're getting it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, we take this with a grain of salt. This is, as we've mentioned here, it's by no means an official confirmation. The only time it's official confirmation is when we hear it straight from the developer's mouth and or
Or
Stadia, and
not
we know.
even, technically not even then, because we've seen
Yeah,
Ubisoft say 2 times now that we are getting For Honor. So
that's true. So always take it with a grain of salt. At least there's some hope. This is, if
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to do a takeaway from this, there's a possibility that it's coming to
Yeah,
Stadia.
we've gone from maybe like 40% of, because it's like they haven't mentioned anything either for or against, but it's
Mhm.
also not been in the trailers. We've gone from that to maybe like 60%,
Yeah, you never know,
75 even.
right? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Confidence levels are rising.
Yes, that's what we could say for sure. Um, Jack has a post here over at Stadia Dosage. I saw this tweet and I thought this was awesome. Jack says, mark your calendars. The first Stadia Dosage Stadia Community Online Scavenger Hunt. What a great way to get the community involved and in interaction, is taking place the weekend of June the 17th through June the 20th. And he mentions here that's the Juneteenth and Father's Day long weekend, along with my birthday on the 20th. Jack, you forgot to mention it. That's okay. We'll forgive you. You've been such a good friend. So take a look at that. More details are coming soon. StadiaDosage.com. And I thought that was pretty cool that there's going to be a Stadia community online scavenger hunt over at Stadia Dosage. Let's see here. Yeah, so I see Raphael Scientist was asking how many Stadia rated games that didn't come.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around 5 to 10 games. That has something along that line, and some of them is like Far Cry Blood Dragon, which would like, as someone as anyone who has the Ultimate Edition of Far Cry 6, obviously are supposed to get that. So we can just assume, like, obviously it's super late, but it is coming. Like there's but it's in the list of games that are rated but not yet out. So the list is. Oh, we have it on the wiki. Nice.
Yep. So Ninja. So I want to mention here. So the birthday boy that we mentioned at the top of the show here,
to you,
is here in the chat, and he says, "Hey everyone, I lost Maurice." It's pretty sad. So hopefully Ninja will be able to figure out where he is with this.
Ninja, have you checked under your bed?
Yes, he could be under the bed. You never know. So
double check just to be sure.
Yeah, because he could be there, because Maurice is a little shy around Ninja Guy X. I don't know why. He loves the camera. Anytime he's been on the show, he puts on a show, fantastic show. But around Ninja, he's just a little shy here. And again, like we mentioned here, Ninja mentions check the wiki if you'd like to know about the games that have been rated that haven't been released here. So a good source, the Stadia wiki. Ninja Guy X and InLead head that up here, and they do a great job of keeping it up to date. Ninja Guy says he's not under the bed, but I think I've heard someone sneeze. So maybe Maurice is, I don't know, in the attic or somewhere.
Could we maybe then assume that someone might be at risk of having a hoarse throat?
We'll leave that as is. As we mentioned earlier when we were talking about talking dogs, Carson Kelly
Martian
says,
Rising.
Yes, Martian Rising is announced. Martian Rising here. He says it's going to take inspiration from the likes of Stephen King, and was it the Horror Masters? It's John Carpenter, Glenn Schofield, and their work and storytelling and their respective franchises. Halloween, Dead Space, Christine, Carrie, The Shining, and things like that.
Sounds like a really cool premise and something that's not for me at all.
No, I thought this had your name written all over it here.
Yeah, what?
So it says here, so it's been in development for a long time, and I think it's about time to share some tidbits of information with you about this new franchise I'm developing. I'm very excited about it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. So again,
look forward to seeing more.
Yeah, for sure. We don't know, there's no announced platforms that it's going to be on, but hopefully, seeing as Talking Dogs is coming to Stadia, we can cross our fingers and hope. We've got a little glimmer here that this would be a game on Stadia. But take a look. Carson Kelly, a great guy, and looking forward to hearing more about Martians Rising.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Again, that gift looks really good. It almost makes me sad that it's sort of horror themed. I'm really interested to see where this goes, to like explore this world that is teasing here. But I don't like horror.
Yeah, we'll see how it is. Maybe he can make a PG.
Maybe it will be my first horror experience. Then.
It very well could be. Very well could be.
Just from that GIF alone, I'm hooked.
So we've heard some murmurings here. We know we had the Winter Community Championship. It just seems like just a couple of months ago, and maybe it was. My sense of time is completely off here, but we've seen something from the Twitter, and it looks like the Community Championships. They've rebranded Community Championships on Stadia, and they tweeted out, "Did someone say summer is almost here? Goes to change outfits." So
It's almost as if that tweet is trying to tell us something.
yeah, so I'm sure people watching and listening could probably figure it out what they're trying to tell us, but I won't let the cat out of the bag. We'll leave that for another announcement, hopefully in the near future here. It's always great community involvement. We've had the Summer Community Championship last year, Winter Community Championship this year, and now we're coming up to the second Summer Community Championship. So
Yeah.
it is awesome. There's always like a bunch of new people or people who are that play Stadia and part of the community, but aren't really like well known or vocal. And this brings them to light here, and always find fresh new faces and things like that. So that's awesome. And you know what? As a matter of fact, like last year, that's how I pretty much met Ninja Guy X. Like he was part of
really.
Summer Community Championships. I had spoken a little bit to him before, but nothing really. And then after the Summer Community Championships, being part of it, we became talking, we became friends, and here we are
And I mean,
today.
it has to be mentioned. Like, unlike me, Ninja is really good at games as well.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, especially
he
like
does,
platformers.
Yeah, he's good. Like any of the stuff that's really tough, he's really good at. I don't know how he does it, but
Patience
anyways.
of God, that man.
Yes, yeah, for sure. So look forward for an announcement in the coming weeks about the Community Championships on Stadia Summer Edition. I'm not sure what the official name is going to be.
Yeah.
But we'll see something here soon, is what a little birdie tells me.
Someone will make a summary later, maybe.
Very well could be. So moving along here, Original Penguin, Adam, he was on the show last week along with Ninja Guy X. He has now consolidated his database and all of the goodness that he has and provides to the community. We've got his database. He's got links to his YouTube, Stadia, Discord, email. I don't even know what this is. I'm not 100% sure. I won't click on it there. Sure, it's nothing that wouldn't be appropriate. It looks like is that a tie? Let's click on it here. I'm the guy that counts pixel games, so I'm not 100% sure what that is.
It's this website. Then.
Yeah, it very well could be. So we've got links here. The database here that Original Penguin puts together. This is, again, hats off to him here. This is really extensive. Look, you get the name of the game on Stadia, if they have Discord, release date, like the mode, the frame rate, all.
I mean, his database is incredible.
Look at it.
He puts into this it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I need to go in and change how I connect to it, because for my a while, I think it's almost a year ago now, I think, or maybe at least 6 months ago, I made this backlog tracker, it's essentially a fancy Google Sheets, but it fetches data from the database here.
Nice.
So, and I mean, just the fact that he has this amazing database and it's open to use for stuff that you want to make for yourself. So it's great. So yeah, I would very much recommend using that database for any database, Stadia game database and needs you might have. Is great.
Oh, you know what? So Ninja Guy X reminded me here too. I can't believe I forgot. A shout out to and happy birthday, Raphael, the scientist. We've even been talking about him and he's been chatting. It totally slipped my mind. Happy birthday to both Ninja Guy X and Raphael Polidero, the scientist. happy birthday, guys. Thanks again for all that you do and being such amazing individuals. We hope your day is fantastic. So yeah, I've got the link for Original Penguins database in the description. You could definitely check it out. Lots of information there. Stadia Adventure says, "Oh, I'm here, but a little late. You know what? Better late than never. We always
Adventure is
appreciate
never
it."
late, nor is he early.
Yes.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
Exactly.
That's all I
So
have to say on the matter.
our last bit of community news here is about a tweet. So Ninja Guy put a tweet out here under the Stadium Connect North account last week, and he's saying, "We love Stadia Library, but we also love it when games are announced on the platform. Tell us what games you would like to see on Stadia. No rules, just tell us what you would like the most." And oh my gosh, we had so many responses to this. There's a lot of great suggestions and games here. People saying what they would love to see. And I think we had well over 100 different responses and suggestions.
And a lot of them have several in them, I guess, as well. So
Yeah.
I think I only put one in mine, and I regret that now.
Well, you
There's so
definitely
many games I
can
want.
go back. As
Yeah,
he
I've
mentioned
got
a couple. Yeah, he's got a couple of tweets here. He said, "Oh, am I going overboard?" I said, "You know what? You're not, because
There is no overboard.
yeah, there's no overboard." I can tell you that the responses didn't go unseen. That's all I can pretty much say. But for those that don't think that Google and or Stadia and or the Stadia team are listening, they definitely are. They have the feelers out everywhere on social media. They
And
get
I
reports.
I feel there is some almost like a theme building here where like the Stadia community is. We might not be the biggest community, but we are very passionate and vocal to a point where, like, I've seen so many times where you've been interviewing developers and they've been like surprised with how positive and vocal and passionate we are. And I think that really, like, this sort of thing really shows that, and hopefully it shows that to more developers. And sure, we might not be the biggest ones community or big at all, really, in the grand scheme of things, but we are like that passion and drive and positivity, and it goes a long way. Especially towards indie games, but also like bigger publishers as well. Hopefully, so yeah, like it's like it's a wish list thing. We're not, most of these games probably won't make it over, but we like, I mean, tag people, because rest assured people will see it and get excited by it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, we've had such an amazing response to this. I think probably what I'll do maybe over the next week here is gather the data from this year and kind of like put it into a chart to see which games were requested the most. I know Elden Ring has been asked quite a few times. Call of Duty, things like that. Resident Evil. Some people put like Halo and, you know, the games that you're never going to see on Stadia. But other than that, for the most part, there was a lot of great suggestions and ideas here. Binding of Isaac, Hell Let Loose. And this is just opens.
Personally, I would love to see like Guild Wars 2, because I have a lot of Guild Wars 2 left to play. And why not? Like, I mean, it's a game that would really work. I think it would require a bit of extra legwork from their side to make like mobile, like touch enable, direct touch input, for example, for it. But that could open up that game to. I mean, it's MMO specifically. They need massive player bases, and for them to open that up to something like that could open it up to a whole new segment, which I think would be great. And also, like, personally for me, like, obviously, I love City Skylines and other basically everything the Paradox Interactive puts out. I have loved. So I mean, EU4, Solaris, whatever, Crusader Kings 3, all of those, just give it to me. Direct touch input, like give that to me with direct touch input, and I will buy myself a tablet, and I will like play that everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
No Man's Sky was a popular one as well. They've
yeah,
really
and that one we
turned
could
that
see
game
maybe.
around.
I think
Yeah.
that one might pop up in the future. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's such like they have turned it around, as you say. It's also like it's become quite a big game. It's also
Hmm.
like they have a lot of at some point I think they were gonna need to want to, because since it's continuously ongoing in this
Hmm.
development. I think they will be like looking at more revenue streams really at some point, because they are,
Yeah.
well, because you got to remember all of the so far. If you bought the game, you've gotten every single update for free,
Yeah. Exactly.
which is
Exactly.
amazing. And I mean, sure, they sold a lot, very many millions of copies when they launched, and
Mhm.
people were very angry with them, rightfully so in a lot of cases. But they are like the game that's been growing out of that. It's been incredible to see, and also plays really well in VR. By the way, if you have a VR
Oh,
headset, so
nice.
it's a
Awesome.
tip.
A lot of people want Yakuza on Stadia. Judgment, the games, of course, we got.
Yeah, I see a lot of
What are
Witcher 3 in there as well. I'm down for
Yep.
that. I still
Hmm.
have
Yeah.
DLC. I still haven't played the DLCs, so would happily go in again. Love
Yeah.
Geralt.
So there's a ton of games. Like I say, we see Elden Ring, Konami's eFootball, NBA 2K come back. There's lots of great games. Sonic franchise was great from Sega, Capcom, Super Monkey Ball. So a wide list of and variety of different games that the community has put out there. And definitely, like I said, it's not going unseen and unnoticed.
Yeah.
Not every single game from there, and maybe even not a lot will be on there, but just showing your interest and support helps bring eyes to it. And who knows, in a year or two, or maybe further down the line, when cloud gaming and Stadia is more popular, there's bargaining leverage that these games that we can see. What it comes down to is all gives feedback and provides data to the Stadia team on knowing what does the player base, what type of games are they looking for, and what can we do? Can we reach out and try and make these deals?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. So yeah, this is whew, what a week here in Stadia news and in gaming
Definitely.
here.
And let's be honest, there's like the amount of news that's been up to this point. It's probably going to be just as much over the next few days, with Summer Game Fest being in full force. There weren't a lot of Stadia-related releases on the opening night show,
Right.
but hopefully we'll see some more pop up over the
Yeah.
next few days.
What would be interesting? What I'm interested to see is on, I believe it's Monday, Capcom is going to have their digital showcase.
Right.
I wonder if they'll mention anything about the Resident Evil demo on there.
I think they very well might,
Yep.
and I think if they are, obviously they're like, if they are doing a showcase, I think it would like. I have a hard time thinking it will just be like, yeah, this is a DLC for Resident Evil Village, and here's like something about Reverse, and then we're done. So like I think they must have something new going on as well that they want to show off.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
mean, I don't know. It feels like it was a while ago that it's been a few years now since Monster Hunter released. When doing like, if I recall correctly, when it leaked that Stadia, Google had paid $10 million to Capcom for support for like, it was for Village, for Resident Evil 7, and for engine support, and that engine is what's being used for Monster Hunter as well, I think so. And I think there was a mention of Monster Hunter in that.
Yeah, I think
articles.
so.
So, like, if it's a next gen port of the latest one they did a few years ago, that's also coming to us to Stadia as well, or if it's like a new entry, it will be interesting to see. Or hopefully even, I mean, as much as I love like seeing sequels to things, new IPs is usually even more interesting. So maybe we'll see a completely new IP from Capcom, and
you never know.
they
right?
now they do have engine support. Sure, there's still a cost related to maintaining and testing things, but maybe we'll see it. I'm
Yep.
I'm feeling positive.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how things unfold over the next couple of months here. Let's take a look here at the poll. So if you haven't already, now's your chance to vote. What happened to Maurice? We saw Maurice, who was actually a horse in Dead by Daylight. I did a posting there. He's gone missing. So of course we're going to tie that in with the Maurice that we all know and love here. And let's see here. So we have 50 votes so far. It says Maurice is lost. Where do you think he is? A, is he hiding under Ninja Guy X's bed? B, he ran away for good. C, he's on vacation and will be back soon. Or D, he's off beta testing the newest Just Dance, because we know how much Maurice loves Just Dance. I mean, anytime that I've saw him, he's come on the show here. He's done streams over on Ninja Guy X's YouTube channel. He pours his heart and soul into
I feel
that.
like, and he has the rhythm down, right?
Yeah, it's just that curly hair. I don't know. There's something about it that all click together. That
To Maurice.
Yes, straight from the heart. Oh gosh. So okay, so let's go ahead here. We're
This
gonna
is, by the
end.
way, Maurice's. He used to be a unicorn before I got my hands on him.
We're gonna end the poll here, and let's see what the results are. Oh gosh! All right, so Maurice, the chat, 50 people in the chat voted, and they said, you know what? Maurice isn't lost. He's just off beta testing the new Just Dance. 51% said that. 28% said, you know what, Ninja Guy X, I think maybe you should look under the bed again, because we think Maurice is hiding there. 15% say, you know what, Maurice just went on vacation or holiday. He'll be back soon. Don't worry. Yep. And 3% said, you know what, Maurice said, F this, I'm going, and he just ran away. I don't know. I guess he never packed his bags or anything. He just took off.
I do get it, because obviously, because seeing how he's hanging out in this level in Dead by Daylight, having to watch those serial killers kill people over and over and over again, it's not good for his mental health, really.
Yeah, exactly.
So better to go to like the green meadows of talking dogs.
There you go. Yeah, that's very well. He could be.
I'm beginning to lean more towards run away for good, because I like to believe that he did what's best for his mental health.
That's quite true. I'm hoping that sometime later this year I can get a hold of Maurice if he decides to come back, or if I can, maybe I might look up, I think I've got his phone number somewhere, or his email, drop him a line and see, you know what, I'll offer the olive branch. I'll extend my hand, say, Maurice, you've got so many fans, you don't have to come on and do your dancing and things like that. Maybe we could just have a one-on-one. We could chat. The chat could ask Maurice questions and kind of just get to know him. We'll have a calm, cool atmosphere here. So we'll see here. Maybe later this year we can put that together here and see if I can get Maurice on the show here. Yeah, I'm sure that would draw a lot of viewers, because I know there's so many people here that are so excited for Maurice. Ninja Guy X even says here, Maurice would rise in fame if it wasn't for hiding all of the time. Well, that's true. So
yeah,
who knows? Maybe we can talk to Maurice here and see what we can do. But other than that is going to wrap up today's show. I want to give a big shout out everybody in the chat here. Also, my special co-host from Sweden, DadPlaysGames. Now, I'm going to see if I can pronounce your name correctly. Bjorn? Is that close?
It is.
No?
I would say it's the the English pronunciation of it.
Okay. So
Like,
how would I? Okay, so the typical English pronunciation.
yeah.
What is the official? Like, if I'm gonna try to
The official
replicate,
would be Bjorn.
say it one more
Bjorn.
time. Bjorn.
Yeah, that closer, very, very, very close.
Okay.
And
Okay.
incidentally, it is also like the Swedish word for bear.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, and I actually, funny story. I once was on a holiday on I think it was 12 or something, and I
Mhm.
found this Norwegian kid my age on the beach down in Spain, and we played for hours on the beach together. And his name was actually the Swedish name and Norwegian name for Wolverine. So we had
Oh.
a bear and a Wolverine playing together on the beach in Spain.
Oh wow, that is
Apparently,
awesome.
that was a common name in Norway.
Oh my gosh, Metal Wolf says, you know what? We'll just call you Dad.
Yeah, that's okay, son.
Just not Daddy, right?
Yeah, that would just get weird.
Oh gosh. So before we go here, do you have any plans for the weekend or?
Not really. Probably gonna take a quite chill weekend because I've had a really intense work week, and probably will have one next week as well.
Mhm.
But I do hopefully I can. Spend some quality time with the family and the kids. Maybe even squeeze in some editing some of the videos because I finally, after almost a month of not recording anything, I finally sat down and recorded some footage today. So
Nice.
now I have something to edit, so I can maybe finally get a video out again.
There you go.
Hopefully I can do my Wednesday streams again soon. I haven't done them for a month as well.
Mhm.
And I want to get back on that wagon as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll get back to my Wednesday streams and making some videos every now and then pretty soon.
Awesome.
I'll try.
And
I'm trying to do it regularly, but I fail.
yeah, well, no, we all
It
have,
is what it is.
lives and family
Yeah, yeah.
commitments and work and things like that. So we do the best we can. For those watching and or listening, we've got contact details of socials for Dad Plays Games in the description here. So you can find them on Twitter and on YouTube. And definitely check them out. Always a great time. I love chatting with you, and I love
Likewise.
you come on the show and keep doing what you're doing, and just such an amazing person.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for having me, and it's been really fun, and just to have an excuse to sit, chill, and talk video games for a few hours. It's just what the doctor prescribed.
Awesome.
I feel energized from this. Even though I've been, even though I slept 5 hours last night and have
Yep.
been up, like it's midnight now here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm feeling more energized now than I was like this morning. So
no hot peppers or bottle of wine. None of that before
nothing
you
of
go
that
to
sort
bed?
just yet. Just gonna maybe fill the dishwasher, fold some laundry, maybe, and then go to sleep early. Hopefully tomorrow
There
maybe
you
catch
go.
some Miss Marvel. See if that's any good.
Oh, definitely. Awesome.
So yeah,
Alrighty,
I'm
well,
looking forward to it.
yeah. Thanks
Yeah.
again. I really appreciate that coming on the show here, chatting, and it's been a fantastic time. And a big shout out to everyone in the chat. And again, happy birthday, Ninja Guy X,
Yeah, happy birthday.
Pauladero as well.
Should we sing for him before we close down?
You can
Or-
sing if you want.
Should we put him through that?
I'm not.
No.
Yeah. Maybe
You
we'll
get a
save
mental
that.
pretend we're singing for you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody, take care. Have a
Yeah,
wonderful
take care.
weekend, and we'll see you all again real soon.
Bye.